Welcome to this next edition of CTQ Smart Levers. Ramadan, today we want to talk about another diet. I've heard of paleo diet, keto, vegan. Last time we spoke about the curiosity diet, and I'm really curious about what this culture diet is all about. So, what is culture diet?
So we are very particular about what we put inside our bodies and our minds. So the culture diet is more of what we put into the collective minds of teams. Let's say you have thought about what your team culture should be, and we have something called as a culture manifesto that we ask teams of different sizes to create. But once you've created a manifesto which outlines what your goals are, what your values are, what your mission in the world is, many companies don't really know how to take that forward. And one default reaction is to do behavioral training, which is fine, which is in its own place. But there is a space that culture needs for informal conversations, for people to rub shoulders with each other, see their leaders practicing this culture in action. And that's when it really sinks in that this is what we mean when we mean by culture, the kinds of decisions we take, the kinds of conversations we have. Now, unlike these behavioral trainings, you can't force people to engage in conversations about culture. I can't get hold of you for 15 minutes and say, let's talk about curiosity or let's talk about being respectful to each other. And so, the idea of a culture diet is that we offer, it could be content prompts, it could be interesting stories of behavior within the company, outside the company, and we offer these to people in a team for them to consume. Some people may consume stories, some people may like engaging with deep questions about culture. And so the idea of a culture diet is offer these to people, let them engage with different parts of the plate that they enjoy consuming. And over time, this will add another very strong channel for you to disseminate and percolate the culture across your organization.
So basically, what you're trying to say is make these stories keep surfacing from time to time and let it surface naturally so that people actually discuss about it, because you can't really force people to talk about these things. And
Yeah.
that's how people
So
start living the culture.
correct. So if you were trying to follow a diet, or someone in your family was saying that I need to change the family diet to what we had agreed upon, that we will eat healthy, we will eat a little bit of sweets, and so on. But someone needs to get those ingredients, put it on a plate, and then offer it. Maybe you will still not force it down someone's throat, but unless you put it on that plate, you've already lost the battle. And the same is true with culture.
How have we been using this idea of culture diet for ourselves, or let's talk about some of our clients? How have we helped
Right.
them run this?
So once you have a culture manifesto and a starting point for many of our clients when they work with us to come up with their list of values, maybe they already have some values that they want to strengthen. We sit with them, we create this calendar for the diet, which has these different kinds of food items on the plate. In some cases, it could be setting up or using an existing channel and posting prompts on it, posting these well curated stories from outside, from within, for inspiration. These are great triggers for getting people together. It could be your most recent recruit, it could be the most senior person in your organization. And sometimes you have get togethers. We will get people talking about a book summary, or we'll get them to swap stories with each other. In many of our engagements, we create this culture diet wherein we shoulder the responsibility of working with people within the organization. It could be leads, it could be your teams of HR and L&D. Ensure that the culture diet is pervading all of these different functions. And then we ensure that the culture diet is served and it is refined and the consumption goes up.
Is it fair to say that this is similar or analogous to what people call as the narrative? The current narrative of the country is like this because everyone seems to be talking about something and it's all pervasive. Whether you are looking at different kinds of mainstream media, social media, everyone is talking about a certain thing. Are you saying that we are using similar tactics for a different objective?
You can say that because we live in a world of information. We live in a world where digital tools make it very easy to consume short pieces of information at regular intervals. And we are using it for more benevolent purposes. The humans are the same. So the channels that have evolved are the same. The mechanisms of influence are the same. So why not use it to promote something that the organization cares so deeply, that they have invested so much time in thinking about the right culture, and after that they forget to reinforce it. And that's where a culture diet can be so powerful. It will keep the health of your organization to the level that it should be.
And in your opinion, who are the kind of people or what kind of roles are such where knowing about the idea or notion of culture diet and how to actually make that happen is very important for those people and those roles?
We can look at it in two parts: the strategy behind the culture diet and the tactics of it. From a overall strategy point of view, whoever is championing the cause of culture in an organization absolutely needs to be aware of something like this and use it. And most organizations, the culture champion is your founder, is your CXO, who really cares deeply about it and sees the long term value of deepening that culture. The leader needs to be involved in setting that agenda, championing that agenda of the culture diet, following from a culture manifesto. More tactically, there are several people in an organization who can contribute. Formally, the admin, HR, the traditional roles that work with people. But we also have seen the role of influencers within an organization. This could be a team lead somewhere. This could be someone who's very good at participating in hackathons and has a sort of a unstated fan following in the organization. If you are the kind of person who takes ownership and you love the culture of your company, you should also be aware of and contributing to the culture diet.
So I was thinking about what you said and my earlier question. I'm also beginning to think that culture diet is more analogous to, say, the integrated marketing plan that people come up with while talking about the external market, where you're
Correct.
talking about branding, you're talking about the external world. Here, if you look at your culture as your product and your employees as your customers, they are the ones who need to then be influenced. And these are the kind of things that we have to do. So
Yeah,
that
so it's
sounds
content marketing and persuasion aimed at your employees.
all right. On that note, thanks a lot, Ramanand. I think this is very useful.